Gonna lie. It's the 100 Mob, nigga, and it's Top Cat One. You want, nigga, straight up down job. You already know what it is with me. You better go ahead on and listen to Prod Interlude, nigga, straight up. Cause that's what we about to listen to. We about to listen to one of them nigga beats, nigga, Marshallville, Georgia, nigga. Yeah, that's what we gonna be. That's what we repping right now. And we want to shout out Prod Interlude, one of the best producers. So we gonna listen to one of his beats and we gonna get back with you, nigga. Nah. Yeah, you already know what it is. Shout out to Pride Interlude. Y'all go to his IG. Y'all go ahead on and run him up. You know what I mean? You better be lucky I didn't just rap off that. Yeah, I become a rapper. You know what I'm talking about? Use this same name, Top Cat 100. You already know what it is with me. Because Top Cat 100 always in the building, nigga. You already know what we do for the underdog, and you already know what we do for the artists. You already know what we doing. So you already know producers is in the loop too. Nah. Want to talk about some Cali info, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Bricc Baby made a post. You understand? I'm sure everybody's aware of what Bricc Baby is going through right now. You know what I'm saying? With him and Big U and all of that, you know what I'm saying? We gonna, try to play the clip or whatever the case may be. And, we gonna see what's going on from there. But we definitely gotta play it, you know what I'm saying? So people can get an understanding of what Bricc Baby is really going through. You know what I'm saying? Because all that PPP loan stuff and all of that other stuff tied to that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what he tied to, the 60s. So it's like all of that comes into play, man. So he's saying he'll be home soon. You know what I'm saying? That's the big thing about this whole situation. And, Bricc Baby was a big presence up on, the social media platforms, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to California, you know what I mean? Got a lot of, sideways talk done to him because he was with, Adam 22, he branched away from Adam 22, and then all of this happened, you know what I'm saying? So people are saying Adam 22 is, suspect is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he had anything to do with it, but I'm saying stuff start falling apart every time people get around Adam 22, they feel, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of fans feel. So we're going to let y'all hear this, and we're going to get right back with y'all.
Let me talk a little bit about Mr. Henley and the Street Gang here. As I said, Mr. Henley is a widely known leader within the rolling 60s. He rose to prominence in that gang decades ago, and he has since been a fixture on the internet, talk shows, and podcasts, all things that law enforcement have looked at closely as part of this investigation. He has maintained the image of an entertainment industry entrepreneur running a music label, and of somebody who gives back to the community here in Los Angeles, funding a South LA-based charity, developing options, which purports to help at-youth risk escape gang life and escape the perils of gangs in high-crime areas. The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture. It is one of a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. For example, Mr. Henley engaged in a murder of a musician signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body in Las Vegas off of the I-15 freeway. He then attempted to evade and obstruct the investigation into the murder, including ordering witnesses not to speak with law enforcement. Henley's criminal enterprise also engaged in other crimes, including transporting prostitutes across state lines, extorting strip clubs, marijuana dispensaries, and other businesses, and fraudulently applying for COVID loans in the form of a business relief loan. On that application, Mr. Henley falsely stated that his music label, Unique Music, operated at a $200,000 profit in 2019 and was entitled to government assistance, despite the reality that the company had operated at a loss and was ineligible for such relief. Finally, Mr. Henley is accused of embezzling donations made by celebrities, professional athletes, and businesses to his charity, Developing Options, which, as I said, purports to give South LA at-risk youth alternatives to gang violence, drugs, and other criminal activity. Henley used this charity as a front. He used it to conceal his fraudulent activities, his criminal enterprises activities, and evade detection from law enforcement. If convicted on the racketeering racketeering conspiracy. He and his co-conspirators face approximately a 20-year federal prison sentence. I want to thank our federal law enforcement partners, our state law enforcement partners who brought about the result here today. The Los Angeles Metropolitan Gang Task Force from the FBI. It's comprised of FBI agents, LAPD officers, IRS criminal investigation, the U.S. Department of Justice Inspector General's Office, Los Angeles Police Department, the North Las Vegas Police Department. This case is a great example of state and federal law enforcement working together.
Now, I ain't even gonna lie to a lot of you koala bear back built having niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it real. You know, from the get-go, since the Nipsey situation happened, you seen people feel like Big U had something to do with it, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, it's too much stuff that goes into the story of, you know what I'm saying, when we was talking about Cowboy back in the day or whatever. And now that everything cleared up, we see clearly what happened throughout time, you know what I'm saying? More, you know, things came out about that situation. So it's like, Big U, you know me, has been caught inside, you know, video clips, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chris Brown, you know what I'm saying? Real legend, you know what I mean? But it's just like, he was even trying to get down on him, making him pay draft, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, he do this to artists, and that's how he was getting his money and rounding up his money, because he would make artists pay him through acting like they was doing some type of, you know, contribution to charity. You know what I'm saying? In real life, it was a shakedown, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't go with no smooth shakedown. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no nigga on the planet that I don't even care gonna shake me anywhere. You know what I mean? For that matter. But what I'm saying to y'all is, Bricc Baby was supposed to be one of the ones as well with inside, you know, the 60s community. You know what I'm saying? That was being shaken down by Big U and stuff like that. And then, you know, Bricc Baby just started going against the grain. And that's what got him a lot of attention, man, because a lot of 60s was, you know what I'm saying, actual, you know what I mean, not rocking with Bricc Baby, and a lot of them was. You know what I'm saying? That when we talk about Bricc Baby history, man, you know what I mean, he got out a lot of situations unscathed. You know what I'm saying? You could go look at 1090 Jake, and you could look at a lot of situations that people is saying throughout California, up on the internet. And you know what I mean? He been in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? One of the first ones to build that bridge to California to Atlanta. I mean, Bricc Baby has did a lot, you know what I mean, as far as, you know, contributions when we talk about to the streets, man. So it's like, you know, he had a lot of people that were looking at him sideways, but now he's saying he coming home. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm saying all that to say that if he do come home, you know what I'm saying, he got, you know, out of a lot of situations he never was supposed to get out of. And, you know what I'm saying, this will just add to that. So it's like, don't act like it's something different. Don't try to be outraged or none of that like that, man. Just keep it all the way 100 and keep it on the straight and narrow. You know how that go, man. But y'all got to get in the comments, man, and tell me how y'all feel about, you know, Big U when he had to, you know, turn himself in and, you know what I'm saying, handle this and head up with it. Because it's like, Big U ain't going to see the light of day, you know, many feel. You know what I'm saying? I also feel that way, too. Because it's like, you know, too much controversy been going around your name. You already in them people files. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people saying that he was working with them people. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, allegedly. But at the end of the day, man, y'all drop them comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this whole Bricc Baby situation and the way we looking at this situation on how it happened and how it went down, we can't even act like this nigga gonna come home. You see what I'm saying? And if he do, it shouldn't be a surprise. You know what I'm saying?